first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. They'll take... So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw it for a loss.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Patrick Queen got in there to stick him. He gets the sack. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously. Led to a very quick sack.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks in the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though. And they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Looking to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. Returnable for Thomas. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Lions will take over. They go play action here. Purdy. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be brought down at the 27. Sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. He'll take it inside the 25. The Lions had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that, because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
7 yards there and a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Travis Etienne, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Lions get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, something like that neighborhood.
Loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher, 3rd and 6.
Sometimes it's a danger putting that jumbo set out there. You just get a lot of bodies massed in one location. You can wind up with 18, 20, maybe even all 22 in the box, and there's nowhere to run the football.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
Here we go, here we go.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And it'll be a turnover on downs. On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Etienne up the middle. And he takes this one in for the Lions touchdown. Travis Etienne with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Lions have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make the score 14-0. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. See if they can do better here on this drive. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll be tackled at the 45 following a gain of just 2. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
Back to throw here. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Baron Browning drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. When you're down a couple of scores like this, CD, you can't afford too many plays that go in the wrong direction like that one.
Yeah, when you take a good look at it broadly, sacks are better than giving up an interception. But where they are on the scoreboard, they've got to get rid of all of that and just create positive plays for themselves in order to have a chance.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. And the Lions are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
59 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this 1st half. On 1st and 10, it's Herbert. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
On 2nd and 9, Purdy flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Play action, now Purdy. He's airing it out for Williams. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the 1st half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. Oh, he's got some breathing. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are back within a score. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Offense ready to kick off their next drive. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
He's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. Draw play, ETN. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 73 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
And the Lions first down. First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Ready to throw it on first down. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. DJ Jones, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. To try again after the sack. Purdy. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
On 3rd down, Herbert. And they do get this across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the first. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a first down.
Purdy on 4th down. He's airing it out for Williams. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Jamison Williams in the final seconds of the first half. And the Lions will extend their lead here just before halftime. So after the disappointment in the opening week loss, Charles, this looks like really a completely different football team.
They sure do, and I think they realize we can't start 0-2, and they're determined to not let it happen by the looks of things here in early going.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now 21-7. So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. They'll look to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Well, Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead now, a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it is really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them, too.
And some room to run now. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
I think the reason this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already. So he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's in a full run by the time he gets the football.
Calling a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Another toe for ETN. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. And even 100 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Down at the 25.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. On second down, a run with ETN. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That good for 19 and a first down. And they'll run with ETN. And this time they're able to bottle him up as they'll stop him at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. Purdy looking to throw. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Jamar Chase, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. There they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there at holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, we saw that they had a lot of success last week throwing the football, but that hasn't translated to this week. But with his team behind, I don't expect him to back off. I expect him to keep firing.
He'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
They're going to try and throw. And it's going to be batted down. And we'll go the other way with the football. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. Straight ahead, ETN. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Play action, and now here's Purdy to throw it. He's got this complete to Williams. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Things looking much rosier for him here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full play for no matter who's on the field.
So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
Lamb gets the green light. He'll bring it out of the end zone.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 114 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. But defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Now back to throw. He'll get this complete to Kadarius Toney. And he will have a Vikings first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Aaron Stokes. And the Lions are going to take over here up near the 40. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Good gain there on first down. It keeps him in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They're in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
this time he's getting hit after positive play for his offense. The pressure was coming through yet again, but he certainly didn't stick around for the sack on this occasion. Found an escape route and ended up getting the first down before taking the hit.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. That one looks like he'll throw here. They'll roll him out right. He's airing it out for Williams. And this is taken in at the 5. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A big play there for Detroit. 42 yards. Running out of the gun with ETN. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. One more time with ETN. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome. A little whipped cream on top to their ending.
As our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half, the adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no...
We spent your whole life trying to blow up, but Elohim never had time for donuts. The beat go ham, no time for cold cuts. The game like big pitch came to Jonah. Yeah, I'm still independent. They sold 1 million records. Yeah, used to be on my checklist. Big diamonds don't need a necklace. Look, we built the sound like it's double speed Tetris. I cannot build without God in it. We built the sound, you can't copy this. I never brag, it's just confidence. I never rap for the compliments. I wrote this one for the indie grind. If you ain't signed on the dotted line, can't buy my soul with no dollar signs. The industry so full of troglodytes. I don't follow trends. Run it up. Say that with my chest. Run it up. No, I will not bend. Run it up. Gang time in it. Gang time. I don't follow trends. Say that with my chest. No, I will not bend. Gang time. Run it up. 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 You gotta put in that work, dog. I put the kingdom first. I know that you gotta wait for your turn sometimes to build something really sustainable. Work on your catalog, so the day that you finally pop off, you'll see it's not just a once off. You put in time, the harvest is ready, it's ripe. I thank God for the payment. That's a solid foundation. When I finally make it, I'll give God all the praises. G.O.D. who conquered evil forces. I don't trust in chariots or fortresses. Yeah, I walk by faith. I don't follow trends. Run it up. Say that with my chest. Run it up. No, I will not bend. Run it up.